Are you sure you want a feminine woman in your life? Absolutely positive. You know what you're asking for. You heard the question. Are you sure you want a feminine woman? Now that sounds like an ironic question, especially on a men's specific sex, dating, and relationship channel. What else would we be looking for? And why is this such an issue? You may have heard it, you may have seen it, you may have heard it on this channel. Feminism has killed femininity. It was a cold cut, brutal murder in the middle of the night, slitting throats. They took them out. All joking aside, seriously, the better question, do you really know what it takes to lead and contain for a feminine woman in your life? Do you know what that will change, what that will impact, the responsibilities entailed? With great power comes great responsibility. Well, before the end of this conversation, you will be prepared with everything you need to know and do on your side, brother, to be prepared to attract, maintain, and contain a feminine woman in your life by taking the lead. So stick around to the end. This is for men looking at whether or not they are certain they want a feminine woman in their life. And with that, I'm going to give you the tools, tips, everything that you need to understand to have that by the end of this conversation. Are you sure? When I ask that for a lot of guys, and I mean just the standard and average, don't feel bad, don't feel good, just know what it is. How could that be a question? Of course you want a feminine woman. Femininity is such a rare, unexperienced, it's an endangered species. Why would somebody be asking the question, what could be the problem with a feminine woman? I'm dealing with all these modern women out here. I'm dealing with all this sass, disrespect, attitude. What they out there doing? They out in these streets. They for the streets. I mean, you know what the dating pool is look like. You know what the dating game is looking like. It is hard out here. If you don't see all sides of the game, if you don't understand feminine nature, and if you recognize what femininity is, divine femininity, you will be able to distinguish it. You will be able to see it and spot it and take advantage. So with that, let's first break down. I want to give my disclaimers. I have to do this with every conversation. My work being in divine masculine and feminine energy is going to bring in a lot of principles, a lot of conversations and discussions that I cannot touch into with every topic point. And with all of that in consideration, this is going to be for a specific man in a specific position that's ready for a specific outcome and result and ready to put in that work to get it. So who is this for? This is for my men in pursuit of their MGM status. That is the standard that you're going to hear. That MGM standard, mature, grounded, masculine. And they know they want a feminine woman. If that sounds like you, then you are in the right place. Brothers, I got to tell you, you're perfectly whole and complete. I told the same thing to the ladies. I had to let them know, are they ready for these MGMs, mature, grounded, masculine men? Are you ready for that? Because it takes something. They need to get ready, and we need to be ready on the other side of the coin as the men and leaders in the relationship. But as you being perfectly whole and complete, what my work does is help you understand these universal laws and principles, give you applicable knowledge that you can take to the battlefield, hopefully make it a game, hopefully make it enjoyable to get what you want, and actually see some results. So what we're going to have to do is just realize and recognize there's nothing wrong with you. Like I said, you might have a few things incomplete. We might need to make a few tweaks or develop a few things, build the muscle up such that your approach, your presentation, your mindset, all of that is geared properly so that you start to see things clearly. As they say, unplug from the matrix. Blue pill, red pill, not the red pill rage, but definitely wake up to what this game is. And a lot of times you'll hear a message around here about unplugging, helping nice guys out of the trap. It's never a win-win. Nice guys finish last. They always lose. They get hurt, disrespected, taken advantage of. And truth be told, women are not satisfied by them as well. That's half of what I'm coaching the women through, is they've emasculated or wound up with feminine partners that they're not interested in. And, just a yes, ma'am, happy wife, happy life. Oh, God. If you hear anything that rings a bell, it's okay. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with you. Just stay tuned. Keep your ears and eyes open. Take your notes so that we can get you the tools that you need and you can start getting what you want in this dating game, and from women, feminine women at that. Every man that I work with has the masculine energy. Divine masculine and feminine energy is in all of us. So yes, brother, it is in you, no matter what you've done, no matter what your experience, no matter what your expertise, no matter what your game's like, your money's like, whatever. These energies don't change. It's just a matter of activating it, knowing how to tap into it. And it's just waiting to be unleashed. And like I said, worst case scenario, masculine is developed through experience. So to my young brothers out there, wet behind the ears, just getting play, enjoy dipping your feet in the water. Enjoy having your fun. Get it done. Young, dumb, full of cum, it don't matter. Just don't expect to get it right. Don't expect to be perfect, because if you're going to develop in your masculinity, if you're going to be a mature, grounded, masculine man, if you want that MGM status, you are going to have to put in the reps, put in the work, the discipline, chop the wood day in, day out, build yourself up brick by brick by brick. It's not given to any of us. We're that other side of the coin, but the better part, compounded over time, just like investing. You invest into yourself, you put value in yourself. You make yourself valuable. Valuable things are rare, hard to come by, and in high demand. How does that sound? Feminine women seeking you out. Thing I got to touch on is just the truth, the state of things, this modern warfare going on today. There is a gender war, fellas. It's a cold war out here. Cold and harsh. I say that because the dating game's got piss in it. Yeah, but my perspective, you can be part of the problem or part of the solution. And it starts with the self. When you start, you lead by example out in your life, just period. You in your community, online community, where people see people, you start to see happy relationships. You start to see feminine women, masculine men, things working, this dance, this natural dance, just doing what it do. And that's where change starts to happen. So it starts with you. Be the change that you want to see in the world. Because feminine women are an endangered species. Femininity, I started with it jokingly, but truly, the conquest of feminism has definitely had an impact. Now, not to say what was there that caused feminism, the patriarchy, they call it toxic. I'll really just call it immature masculinity, where just mankind in general, society, Western culture, at least the modern Western culture, having it be completely dominant to the male. We're talking about equality, but that is not a conversation for being the same. So inside of that, feminism sought to be equal, but really just being the same. So feminine empowerment had nothing to do with femininity, because a society that is patriarchal, masculine focused as it was before doesn't get any more balance when you swing the other way. Because if you're just swinging to, well, the women need to be able to be independent, masculine as fuck if they want to. Yeah, sure, you are equal in that way. We are all human beings. We're all children of God. That's absolutely possible. And what about that femininity? So the women are now doubled up on the masculine along with the men. The men who never had sight of their feminine have also no longer have place to be raw, unleashed, MGM, grounded, mature, masculine energy. Feminine are picking up this immature masculine energy because it takes time to develop. It doesn't just happen. Just because you can go and turn it on and activate it, they got to learn, they got to bump their head just the same way that we do. And that's where all this imbalance is coming. But who's been paying attention to the feminine? And this, my friends, is what makes femininity an endangered species. Because as a society, we've lost focus of it. These are universal laws. They've been here. They're going to continue to be here. They're not going anywhere. And we've lost sight of what they are, the value, the matriarch, the village, the head of the village, the queenhood, that honor to that divine feminine energy for all the things that the masculine is not, feminine is. And that's where the balance comes into play. So you got to open up your eyes to that. You have to learn to look past these distractions, because once you get hip to femininity, you won't be as swayed by the honeypots, the thirst traps. Everything that glitters is not gold. There's femininity out there, and sometimes it's hidden in plain sight. But if all you're paying attention to is what you like to see, what the, if it's not the pornography directly, porn, TikTok, you'd be straight, but YouTube, I gotta censor some things. But if it's not all that, then you're definitely gonna get caught up. Honestly, social media is soft core. It's just advertisement for OnlyFans nowadays, because you got so much on display. That is not femininity. Femininity can be fully covered and attractive, sensual, sexual, turn you on, all outside, no matter what you're into. Femininity will call that out, and it doesn't have to be overtly sexual. See, when you can look past that, you start to learn to recognize these distractions, and then you stop wasting your time. So you move forward. We're talking about the problems, what's been coming up with femininity that has us distracted, has us lost, has men not happy. On this side of the coin over here, the piss in the dating pool, the gender cold wars going on are leaving my brothers dissatisfied, and there is hope. There is a way. And I'm here to show you the way. I want to give you the answers. I want you to find a feminine woman in your life. If after you hear what I got to say, you're sure you want this. Because brothers, if you can lead it, you can have it. But if you leave it, understand what that takes. Understand what that looks like. Understand what is involved with that. Because once you step in, that's the weight on your shoulders. That's the responsibility. Where they say the things you own you. Well, in this way, whether or not women can hear it for what it really means, you're going to need to own the space. You're going to need to own, as the masculine lead, the feminine in your life. Think about that. Women and children, your mom, your aunts, your daughters, feminine, your sons. It's still feminine. In the world of children, that's not the world of men. That's not the world of masculine yet. We all start in our divine feminine in those younger years. It's only as men, the transition, what we're missing, a rite of passage, that we step into manhood and masculinity. But that aside, as the masculine containment on your shoulders, inside of your boundaries, the ownership is not owning like property. Owning is that this is my responsibility. This is my choice, that I'm going to hold this down. It's my word. I'm going to own and be responsible that the women in my life, that the children in my life are respected, are loved, are valued, cherished. And see, when you hold space like that, it makes space for the feminine to relax. Just like your children can relax, and they ain't worried about your bills. They ain't worried about whether or not you're coming home, because they know they can rely and count on you. Same thing to your woman. It's no different. So when you start to step into that, you're going to get what you want coming back from women, whether they are your women or not. Feminine around you is attracted to masculinity. The same way they be saying simps and orbiters be going around women all the time because they need the curves. They're so neglected. They're not getting in that intimacy, affection, and attention. It's the same way for femininity. Femininity that's not covered, that's not protected, that's not claimed, that's not owned, that may complain. Now that modern woman, that independent conversation, you own who? I wish I would. Ain't gonna let a man do it. I don't need a man for. You've heard it, you've seen it, you know what it is, but we're not even talking about that. We don't need to worry about that, because we're talking about this femininity. This femininity, feminine women, modern or not, traditional, call it what you want. If they are feminine, or I'll talk about the polarity when you show up in your masculine to call out the femininity. Can be a bald as me, straightforward, modern masculine woman barking out directions and cutting them loose left and right. Let a masculine man come around. A grounded, unshaken, straight in the eyes. What you need, what you about. I'm here. My energy ain't going nowhere. I'm not phased. Just telling you how to get women. That's the simple shit. You can find dating coaches out there. You can get sex. You can get dates. You can get girls, girlfriends, relationships. You can get all of that. My conversation is about the social dynamics and the divine energy, sex, dating, and relationships inside of the dance of divine masculine and feminine. So brothers, I want you to be responsible and ready. Are you sure you want a feminine woman in your life? If that's what you're tuned in for, you're on track for the perfect conversation. So stick around to the end. I'll make sure to give you steps today to get a sense of whether or not you're going to be ready to hold down your masculine lead and contain for the feminine women once you bring them in, because it's going to be by the waves. Guys, I'll be honest, man, it's like fishing with dynamite. You get grounded inside of your masculinity. It's something so rare in today's climate, the sexual dating market. Black card, slap it on the table. Big bucks, Bezos bucks. It's just too easy. And it's not about what's in your bank account. That black card is your value, though. That black card is where you show up. I mean, come on. How would you feel with a black card in your pocket? How would you feel if you was Jeff Bezos, one of the richest men in the world? That's how you show up when you walk into a room, and you can see it, fellas. You can look another man. Amongst men, that's where the honor comes from. That's what makes a man valuable, because others want value, because your value is being given out. You are in high demand. Men can see it. We know it first, because women follow men. Men who follow men, that's the leader. Oh, that's who she wants. Who else is getting the respect? Who else is getting the attention? There he is. That's the chief. Beeline. Femininity will flow all day for that. Where have all the feminine women gone? How come we can't find them? This man is over here telling me that if I want a feminine woman, it's possible, but wait a minute, I need to think if I really want that. I ain't even seen one yet. Okay, maybe true. There's a couple of things you want to understand about femininity in these modern times and about what women, especially feminine women, are going through. If you look out in the content right now, social media platform will give you enough. If you go into real life, you can get data. It's just going to be a little sparse unless you go to prospect rich environments, as I call them. So if you got a place like that around the way where you can just be soaked in feminine, have options of surplus options of women around, cool, you'll go and see it. But in the meantime, go online and you're going to see two different wavelengths of women. Now, we'll just refer to one. The way I've heard it actually is hyenas and queens. This was coming from a black woman, actually. She's talking about in the environment that they're raised in, where honestly, the majority of modern women, especially from my culture, the black community, the modern, independent, strong woman has come up through the generations of trauma, not only to our people, but also the familial dynamic, the toxic, dysfunctional family background that has broken up the nuclear unit, if there ever was one for, again, the black community at least. But hyenas and queens, because you're either going to fall in line, fall in suit with what's going on. And with, I'll tell you another sign of extinct or endangered femininity, where the grandma's at. Now, if you like me, an old head, you done had some circles around the sun. There was a time where we had Sunday dinners. It was kind of a slow death. Now that I think about it, what was being served, but it was cooked with love by a grandma that wasn't trying to get up in the club Saturday and Sunday. There wasn't a grandma by 25. Like, do you get what I'm saying? There's a whole other way. And that's that same matriarchal, like, missing in our modern cultures and villages, because it's just not around anymore. That highlighting of queenhood, that's what upheld the values. That's what was the glue that kept the family together. That was the closest thing in society to femininity. And with the push for feminism, independence, and that's where I say you may hear the conversation as hyenas. Instead of queens, there's hyenas. There's high body count. There's sexual liberation. There's independence. There's being strong. And I want to be clear. I need to give the disclaimer, even though I already said I'm only talking to mature, grounded, masculine men looking for feminine women. There's nothing wrong with these things from a conversation for equality. The challenge comes up is when you want to be the same, and that's the hyena behavior. Male, masked, immature, masculine traits, tendencies, behavior, body count, independence, all these things that are meaningless because of the equality, meaningless because we're going to approach it as if we are the same. However, equal is not the same. So there is missing of values and virtues that don't apply for the other side of the coin. They're not good, bad, right, or wrong. You just have to understand where you're positioned in the game. This is chess, not checkers. You can't just wash, rinse, and repeat. It's not the same side. Looking at the hyena behavior versus the queens. Now, a feminine woman, and we're talking about, when I talk about hyenas and queenhood, I'm talking about being raised. So we're talking about young little girls. So if they are in touch with their femininity, if they don't have an example of that in their culture, then they have to go into hiding. They have to protect themselves. No different than if they get grown, get out in the dating world, as many women are saying, they have no choice but to step into the independence. They have no choice but to step into their masculine. So it is not their fault. One rule, brothers, I'll tell you, and you better get used to it if you want to be a grounded masculine man. MGM status, femininity has no responsibility. I'm gonna let that sink in, because that red pill rage needs to calm down first. You got to understand feminine nature, brothers. If you're gonna have, this is why I ask, are you ready for a feminine woman? If you're going to have a feminine woman in your life, you cannot treat her like a man with a vagina. No different than women can treat men like a woman with a penis. It doesn't work that way. It's not about sex and gender. We're talking about energy. So energy wise, masculine is that grounded rock, can take the pressure, doesn't worry about the feelings, can make decisions, effective, affirmative, forward progress, action. Feminine is soft. Feminine is flowing. Feminine will bend and crack under that pressure every time. So that is why it is so hard to hold them accountable, to make them responsible. Now, in their own independence, they have their own masculine energy. They're fully competent, capable adults. And yes, you should hold them to a standard of healthy communication, being healed, those type things. You need the maturity, But that is not responsibility. That is not accountability. Think about the little feminine girl, young woman, lady that is trying to flow in her femininity in an environment where only the hyena behavior, only feminist, independent, masculinized behavior is acceptable. So if you don't get along and play along, you might not make it along. So they revert, they hide. If they keep to themselves, if they don't fall in line, they're bougie. They have an attitude. They think they're better than everyone. So they get attacked. If they fall in and fall prey to the hyena pack, even once they get in, they will still be bad mouth. Oh, you out here being a hoe. Oh, you pregnant again, having another baby. Oh, you out here wasting your time, giving yourself up. You ain't about nothing. You ain't doing nothing. It's toxicity, crabs in a bucket. I'm telling you all this just to understand, to really satisfy. I am not about this gender Cold War. I am not about pushing the problems to the other side of the fence. We are the same coin, just two different sides. And you have to understand, your feminine ladies are over there dealing with the same challenges, just on their side of the coin. Us over here is masculine, MGM standard men, mature, grounded, masculine. We're dealing with the same thing. We have no rite of passage. Nobody showed us how to do this. Nothing in the media, nothing in the propaganda, nothing but what you've tuned into right here is telling you how to be a mature, grounded, masculine man. So no different than it takes you effort, action, and understanding to be better, to do better, to be the change you want to see in the world. Recognize that the queenhood of femininity has had to hide, is just as endangered as your masculinity, and has to navigate hidden in silence, in plain sight sometimes. Understanding of what they've been surviving in their own harsh environment, you can now appreciate. And again, flipping it back to what I said, take responsibility. What's that look like? So you got to sharpen your picker. You got to be able to tell the difference. I touched on it. Just because she got some curves, big butt and a smile, don't trust it, guys. Like that. That's the bare minimum. That's the bare minimum just to get a fun time on the ride. You know, going on an amusement park ride. I don't need any regulations. I'm gonna let back, have some fun. But we're talking about a feminine woman in your life. You got to be able to spot the signs. Look for invitation instead of initiation. So a lot of times, and these are the clients that I'm coaching on the woman's side, they're alpha, they're dominant, and they're masculine. They're showing up and they're anxious. So they're stepping forward, they're approaching, they're proposing, they're asking you to be her man, they're escalating the relationships, they're making the plans and the dates. That's initiation. That's forward progress. That is masculine energy. However, an invitation, femininity is open. Femininity is receiving. You know it in that red pill rage. That's everything opposite of that body count. We don't want you just taking in anything and everything out there. But when feminine does open up, relax, gives an invitation, a little lock of the eyes, maybe a little glance over the shoulder, a little longer than normal. Drop the, I love it, psych hacks. Shout out to my guy, psych hacks. The traditional feminine trait was to drop a handkerchief. That was the invitation back in the day. Create the opportunity, a honeypot, the true honeypot, for that masculine man to come by and be a gentleman, chivalrous. Excuse me, ma'am. How you doing? Where you headed? Would you like some coffee? Can you join me? I mean, it was just natural. But that context, the invitation with open, warm friendliness, that is femininity versus the initiation. Now, bold and direct, hey, she comes up to you, give her a shot. But the yellow flags, something better be on alert. This is your picker. You got to understand and look for these signs. Next thing you want to look for, her appearance, her expression. Like I said, overtly sexual. And nowadays, it's so easy. You don't even have to have a conversation. You don't even have to meet her. Look at the profile pics. Look at her social profile. What's she advertising? What is she expressing is important to her. How many out of 10 pictures is her ass in the air? How many out of 10 pictures do you get to see all the goodies? Is there any mystery to it at all? Or do you already know what she's going to look like when the lights go out between the sheets? Because it's up online for everybody else. Your picker, not that one. Your picker needs to be sharpened so that you know what you're hunting. You want to be looking out for the communication and behaviors. Is she direct? Is she blunt? Is she straightforward? Or is there a feminine softness? Does she know how to bring up a conversation, even if it is what she wants? It's your idea. She's following your lead. That's the gentle whisper. They say heavy is the head that holds the crown, but the power is the gentle whisper in the ear that turns the neck, that diverts the attention, where attention goes, energy flows. That's the power of feminine, because it's unseen. You don't actually know where the direction is coming from. And that's the power behind femininity. So like I said, it can be hidden in plain sight if you can overtly see exactly what's going on. Now, I'm not talking about openness and attractiveness. If it's soft, you know it's soft. If it's an invitation for you to step into, you'll know it. But if you get the picture that there's another conductor up front of this train, and I don't know when it happened, but somehow I got this ticket and I think we're on rails. It's going where she's going. She's dating with an intention and a purpose. That's what they say, dating with a purpose. Yeah, it's absolutely clear, because that's her train. That's her masculine driving. That's not her fault. I say it often, she won't let me lead. No woman will ever let you lead. You need to lead. You need to give her the train, the ticket, the opportunity to get on board for whatever you're about. We're going to get to that later. Stick around to the end. But if that's not in place, you may be seeing her masculine show up in all these ways: communication, behaviors, appearance, her expression, making the initiation. Another way you can check, fellas, the background and the history. I talked about those hyenas in queenhood. How does she respect her father? How would she respect the patriarch, the men in her life? Is she complaining? If niggas ain't shit, you can best believe you're likely in that category. Now, if that's her belief and outlook, be aware. I tell brothers all the time, and I have said this since in my 20s, you can have the bitches, the hoes, and everybody else. I'm interested in queens, women, ladies. I ain't got time for the rest. So the same thing goes for you. And if her mindset shows and demonstrates, and what does that also plug into? Her background and her history. Who's in the background? Birds of a feather flock together. If she got a crew that's on ladies' trips every other month, if you know her girl has got 2 or 3 men and play in the field and doing what she do in promiscuous ways and whatever else, what do you think? She's just the good girl in the clique? Remember the hyenas in queenhood? Good girls ain't good girls with that crew. They've been trying to survive all their life. They want to get the hell away from that. But if she's right in there with it, that's how she moves. People will tell you exactly who they are. And when they do, you got to believe them, brother. What else you want to look out for? Emotional intelligence. We're starting to get into the advanced stuff. This is where you start to have your bar up. Emotional intelligence, which requires, I touched on it already, maturity. She's really got to show up able to follow your lead. She has to have the maturity, experience, exposure, which is where, again, that background, her history, that's a shortcut. Because if she's already conditioned to see a man and a woman in love, a good man and a good woman, a masculine man and a feminine woman in love, she's preconditioned, she's pre-exposed. She knows what it takes. She knows what it looks like. She knows both sides of the coin. She knows the value of both sides of the coin. She knows the place, the roles, the lanes, and she can fit into it. She wants to. She feels at home with it. However, if immaturity is showing up, you are going to lead, you are going to teach, train, condition, show her how life on your campaign looks so that she can cast her vote for you and follow and submit. And inside of that, you have to understand it's not your job. As they say, don't save them. You ain't got to do it for everybody. That cookie they putting on you, that booty they shaking in your face, the beautiful smile, whatever it is that draws you in, not that picker. Sit back, have fun if you want, by all means. But beyond that, if you're talking about anything longer, if you're going to give your commitment, your loyalty, your protection, your containment, your resources, your time, your accesses, any of it, because you got to know your worth. I'm going to give you all the checklist too. Make sure that she's worth it. You need to be qualifying her. Maturity needs to be there so that she knows, oh, somebody's got to lead. I'm going to let him get that. I can just relax. And she doesn't have to let you because you are showing up. But if she's battling with you, if she doesn't know how to let go, if she doesn't know how to stop resisting submission, these are great conversations to bring up, by the way. These are great ways to qualify and filter and screen. If submission triggers her, if she gets upset to think about a strong man leading, these are signs and indicators. Now, there's education. Mature people can communicate. And of course, you can, and I would say should, ideally, as an MGM standard, mature, grounded, masculine man, you're going to have world experience, knowledge, wisdom. Like I said, on our side of the coin, we get more and more valuable. You keep building yourself up. You go higher and higher levels and levels. So with that, you should, by design, be bringing something to the table, something you can impart, something you can teach, something you can guide her through. That is taking the lead. If she's ready to take that on, that's another green light. And the last two things, emotional intelligence. This is tricky. And I say that because, again, femininity doesn't have responsibility, but also the condition of the majority of women, modern women, and less so much for feminine women. However, that's why it's an indicator, because if this isn't showing up, you may not be dealing with a feminine woman. But an emotionally intelligent woman is going to perceive, relate, be empathetic, and be able to feel others' emotions. She is connected and nurturing and wants to cultivate dynamic relationships. I've even heard, women are more anxious than men. They stress out more than men. Why? Because they have an innate need by natural, their womb, to create. And that first early childhood, caring for, pouring everything into, having something to fix and work on, is where the maternal instinct, feminine intuition, is utilized. So inside of that, if they don't have that, now don't let them mother you, don't let them baby you, don't fall for that trap either. But if they can't work on tending to the relationship, they turn a house into a home. So when they cast their vote and when they get on board, they're seeing how you lead, they're seeing how you want things, they're understanding the rules and guidelines, and they want to fit in like a sheep to the shepherd. They want to stay inside this fence. They want to enjoy these nice, plush, relaxing, safe environment. And as soon as you give them that lead of what it's going to look like, they're nothing but excited and ready to get on board and ready to step into it and turn that house into a home after you lead it. Which brings us to the very last thing, submission. If she resists submission, quite frankly, run. It's not worth it. And here's the thing, no different than I will tell women and coach my clients that it's not her job to raise a boy into a man. Her stepping back, her removing her value, the femininity that you want, calls out the masculine to step up and step forward. The masculine boundaries and lead calls out the femininity. Oh, there's a lead over there. He's got rules and boundaries. That's why she shit tests. It's not shit tests. She's needing to get grounded in your world. She needs to understand the gravity. Where are the walls at? Where am I safe? What do I do? How do I operate? Yes, daddy, tell me, give me instructions. Yes, she's looking for that. So when you lay it out, that is when the submission comes along with it. To be able to follow into that, she has to know how to trust, how to relax and step into it. And if that doesn't show up, more than likely a feminine woman has not shown up. I originally asked the question, are you ready? Are you sure you're ready? And are you sure you want a feminine woman? Because the other side of that coin is that it is the masculine polarity that causes femininity to relax. As I told you, masculine straightforward is me, but when I'm in the space, somebody's got to lead it. Somebody's got to be masculine. And for me, that's the awareness of, if there's a decision to be made, I'm going to step up. If there's something uncertain, I'm going to step in. If there's a space for bigger, badder, broader, stronger energy or physicality, biology to show up, I'm going to do that because I'm mature enough in my masculine to know I want it that way. I want to call the shots. I want to take the lead. I would rather enjoy her femininity by her relaxing, because what happens when an anxious would-be feminine woman has to step into her masculine, that anxiety doesn't go anywhere. She's hyper masculine, hyper fixated to a degree, toxic masculine even, cannot relax and rest, and isn't mature enough to understand if you don't allow space for the lead to submit and follow, you're going to be bucking heads. You're going to be resistant. Who wants that? And see, a masculine man, fuck this shit. You good. Do it yourself. You don't need me. I'm gone. Whereas feminine woman, not able to rest and relax into her femininity, either by lack of masculinity from yourself or her not being conditioned for herself, is only going to show up in that trying to lead, trying to do it, being in her masculine herself. And it becomes very clear, you'll feel it, you'll know it, that if that's not what you're for, if that's not what you're wanting, don't waste your time, don't stick around, disqualify. This is not what that is. So it's going to take your polarity to have her rest, relax, and bring out her femininity. Because I'll tell you, all, if not all, most women are looking for masculinity, are looking to rest and relax. Why do you think the conversation about protecting providing are such big conversations to this day. Where is all the chivalry? They want men to operate a certain way, but then if it doesn't show up how they expect it to show up, where's the chivalry? Where's the real men? Because they want to relax, because they want to feel safe, because even if they've got the money, they want that as the option. And that's not their responsibility. They're feminine. If you want feminine women, it has to be optional for them. They want to relax. They crave to relax. Your money, your resources, your strength would not matter, would not be of value. They would not bend and yield. What they say, for a masculine man, she'll break all her rules. For an effeminate man, for a simp, for a loser, for a weakling, for a guy who's not leading, not holding it down, oh, she'll make all kinds of rules to protect herself. I don't know what he's doing over there. Okay, no. We ain't doing that till the third date. We ain't doing this until there's a relationship. Oh, no, you ain't getting in the back door. You better stick to it like this. These are your options. Just saying. So you take a look at yourself and how you're showing up first. Masculine leads, meaning that the initiation, that masculine energy has got to go first. So if her femininity is not showing up, questions over there with you fellas. What is there for you to clean up? What is there for you to step into? So we're on the hunt for the rare and exotic feminine woman. You've stuck around to the end because you want to know the good stuff. You want to know the simple steps, as I promised, to put yourself in position to attract, to lead, to properly contain feminine women. So without further ado, I won't hold you up any further. Let's get right into it. So it's an easier hunt when you have the right bait, fellas. What am I saying? Your MGM status has got to be on max. What did I say? Mature, grounded, masculine energy. Max that shit out. They talk about looks maxing and all this other stuff. It's not just your appearance. It's not just your presentation. Get yourself grounded in your masculinity. The first thing you've got to do, fellas, know yourself. Now that's simply said, but I've got some guidelines for them. I'm gonna break this all out. We've got six things you can do. And I got some footnotes inside of them. So stick with me. I got you. So you got to know yourself. How do you do that? Get the reps. I've already told you, we're built brick by brick. Started from the bottom. If you're trying to make yourself into a man, it's going to take some time. It's going to take some experience. It's going to take some energy. It's going to take some discipline. It's going to take some integrity. You have to be a man of your word. If you say it, then do it. Words and actions align. When you're that type of man, it's respected. I had a conversation with a beautiful young lady and she was telling me so quickly, guys don't understand. The simplest little things can get them wet from jump. How? What simple things? What is this secret? I'm gonna put this in. This is a bonus. This ain't even in the agenda I got laid out. She said she's expecting a call. All right, sweetie, I'm gonna call you at 5:30. Just the early conversations, exchanges, back and forth, text message. You know, got the number. I'd like to talk to you. When's a good time? Okay. 5:30. He's gonna call. 5:30 passes. 6, 7, a text around 8. Does this sound familiar? Now, mind you, fellas, you don't owe her anything. You're just getting to know her. You don't know who she is. You're not too invested. Is she important? You don't know. What's the listening over there when that happens? Oh, I can't trust him. He's not safe yet. Now, safe for what? You may not need anything to be safe, but if you want things to open up, if you want that access, first date, first round, make or break the rules for you, well, if she feels safe because you said you call at 5:30, wow. What she tell me? She said, this man called me at 5:30. I was like, ooh, damn, that's sexy. She's going on with her day. She's feminine. She's not responsible for anything. No, she's not checking the calendar. No, it's not on her to reach out to you. You said 5:30. You said you pick her up at this time. What does that show? It shows you're a man of your word. You hold integrity. You do what you say and you can be counted on, relied upon. It shows that you're in control of your life, your schedule. You're a man of power. You're a man of substance. You know the importance when others are relying on you because you are in demand, because you are valuable. See, these are the sub-communications, the sub-notes that femininity is feeding off of. She told me that and it made absolute sense. And she's like, I don't know why guys don't get this. She may be interested, but she's immediately turned off. She's immediately covering up, not feeling safe because she doesn't know that she can trust you. Give her a real flip, hit her up at 5:28. Just tell her when to come over, what to have on. Bruh, it's that easy. Again, when you are in your masculine, you laying down the black card. That lead is something so rare that they feel it to their bones. Brothers, less is more. When you get grounded in yourself in this way, there is nothing stopping you from within seconds meeting and greeting a woman, letting her feel your energy and your presence. By phone, you can do it. There's less presence, but in person, absolutely. Feeling to the point where she's ready to go to the car, ready to go to the bathroom, ready to follow you to the ends of the earth and whatever you're ready to do. Now, I say that with no exaggeration because feminine women are led by the emotion. Now, that's something responsible because every action, every word, everything that you do, obviously, is going to impact. Everything that you do in your leading has impact over there with her, with the feminine woman. So inside of that, this is no different. But when you show up in that way where your word means something so small means something so big because it paints the picture. It's what she feels, and that gives her the indicator. That's why they can get a sense in 3 seconds. Guys, it's not a strategy. We're logical and pragmatic. What do I say? What do I do if they're ready to give up the cookies in 3 seconds? Oh, absolutely. That's the most efficient strategy. She has to feel something over there. And that starts with the man that you are. How you show up, who you know yourself to be. She feels it. It's palpable. She can smell it. It's like chocolate. She can't resist that shit. And you will get those results. You'll have all the feminine you need. They will compete for you. They will fight for you. They will break your rules for you. They will follow because this is the natural dance of everything. No different than you will bend heaven and earth like Thanos and shit. Pulling down the moon like you'll do that work for a feminine woman, for something so rare, for something that drives you and gives you life. It's no different on the other side of the coin. So fellas, I tell you this first thing out of 6, know yourself, get the reps in, do the work. And when I say that, get the reps in and get it out of your system. I touched on it very lightly, but your actions, your words, what you do in this life has impact. Don't waste a grown woman's time. A grown woman, not a little girl, not a modern woman, not a masculine woman, but a grown feminine woman. You better respect and cherish that flower. One, because you do damage on the market. So even if it's not for you, or even if it's just for play, you're just damaging. You're just pissing in the dating pool, fam. For what? Anyway, I'm not going to get into that. Another conversation another day. We don't have that much time. I want to give you as much value as possible. So get the reps in and get it out of your system. Get the notches on your belt. And I really mean this. This isn't just a flat out, oh yeah, go sleep with 100 women, go sleep with 10 women, whatever, the simplistic. It's not about that. But what you get in the experience, you do need to know yourself. You do need to know how to hold it down. You do, the premature ejaculation, all these things that guys are dealing with, these challenges. Yes, I have the solutions, but those are just the symptoms. The root cause, you're not grounded in yourself. You don't know how to stay grounded with a woman until you can treat her like just another woman. It's often said, if you're the type believing in the whole scale process, that, oh yeah, 1s and 2s, easy, 5s and 6s, yeah, I can have fun with them. 8s, 9s, and 10s, oh, it's a whole other bar park. It's so difficult. Nah, that shit is all up here. 1, if you even believe in all that. But no matter where, 1 all the way to 12, however you view women, is just another woman. She is just another human being who shits, burps, farts, gets diarrhea, and whatever else just like you. However, they're opposite. They're different. And if you come to understand that, you get enough experience in that, you're no longer starstruck, intimidated, wavered off of yourself. Bitch, please. And I'm not even talking to my ladies. The context that I'm going to live this life, this is knowing myself, that I'm a grown ass man, that I put up work, that I put in work, that I know my value, I know who I am. So a little lady is going to get me shaken, stirred, worried, bothered. Nah, you're going to come and go. There's an abundance of it. That as well. When you experience that there is abundance, you're not so thirsty. You're not willing to chase. You're not willing to lose yourself, fall in love. You're not willing to get pussy whipped. You're not willing to get tied up in distractions and curves and thirst traps and whatever else. It's just another woman. New ones coming off the lot every day. Whatever your age is, 21, 31, 25, 42, whatever age range you like, there are new ones coming off the lot every day. And on this earth of 8 billion people eligible, we'll say 3 to 4 billion, your mind cannot compute the access that you have. And the more valuable you live and make yourself, you got the same global access. Instagram, dating apps, travel, online, passport bros, whatever you want to call it. You can go get that femininity wherever you like. I'm not even going to hop on the passport bros conversation because we can still play on the home turf. But anyway, get those reps in. Because as you can probably hear it, you'll get your worthiness conversations complete. I told you in the beginning of this, you're perfectly whole and complete. I'm not here to tell you you're broken. I'm not here to tell you that anything's wrong with you. You may just be playing the game wrong. You may just be missing a couple of steps. You may just need some key notes that'll make the difference for you. And with that, you'll get your worthiness up. You'll know you're a man of value. You won't be shaken about just another girl. That beautiful 20-something woman is a little girl, respecting her adulthood, respecting her maturity when she shows to be respectable, but she's nothing that amazing. Even the perfect woman and ideal partner, she's only perfect because she fits your standards. And as she fits your standards, she's still going to be just a human being. It's still going to take work. It's still going to take leading, containment. What do you think relationships? I tell people all the time, there's work to get in relationships to attract people. Like when you're done playing and all that and get this expertise up and you're ready for something serious, when you're ready to commit, that's just when the work begins. Because now you got to give a fuck about somebody else. Now you got to merge life together. Now you got to come to understand that it's no longer just about you. And that's not even if you have kids. That's not even if you're married. Just relationships, relating. You have to start taking others into consideration. And if you're doing this dance how I'm prescribing it, you got to lead it as well. A big picture in there is your purpose, mission, or direction. Now this one hits hard because a lot of guys, well, if I don't have my purpose lined up, or so many people are just saying, be on your purpose. What I say is just have some direction. Know your North Star. I know the quality of life I want. I know where I want to live. I know what I want to drive. I know the clothes, like your quality living standards. I know what I need to do in order to get that. I'm gonna go do it. You've at least got some direction. Now, maybe you haven't found your purpose in a sense of overarching, but maybe you've got a mission to get these coins to this point, to develop my body to this point, to learn another language, to be cultured, to travel the world, to have X experiences, to study, to make myself more valuable, to build a career, to build a business, whatever it is. Give yourself a mission, and that will give you the direction. And here's a true secret for all brothers. I say it all the time. Just like AI, you can program yourself. You can choose your purpose. We have free will. You see, it's the thing that calls to you the most, the thing that you love the most. If you would follow that, that is your heart, that is your intuition, that is what would actually have you succeed the most. If you can give into, tap into, and follow that, you'll never fail. You'll never work a day in your life. And that gives you a sense of, this is my purpose. I feel satisfied when I do this work every day. Why? Because I fucking enjoy it. Who cares if I'm paid? I'm going off the top of the dome. I mean, I got an agenda I want to cover, but I'm going off the top of the dome for y'all for an hour. Half of this shit is not in my script, but this is my sandbox. I'm over here playing and having fun. I am on purpose, at my station, on a mission, getting to it. You do the same thing for yourself, whether anybody's looking or not, whether it's easy or not, whether you enjoy it in the moment or not. That's discipline. That's getting the reps in. When a woman, feminine woman, comes across an MGM brother, mature, grounded, masculine, with a purpose, with a sense of direction, who knows how to lead, who is chopping the wood, demonstrating discipline and integrity, making himself more and more valuable, dripping wet. It's just that easy. Ladies, I know you're in the audience. If there's anything lying about, drop it down in the comments. Please, I want to learn. I'm a student of this shit, but that's just facts. Grow yourself. Through experience, you learn to know yourself. Aspirations may send you in a certain direction to satisfy your dreams. Yes, grow yourself. Always be seeking to develop. If you are a guru, you have lost. If you have mastered something, you have lost. Because the second you stop growing, we don't stay constant. Nothing in life is constant. Everything is about change, because the second you stop, you're descending, you're backsliding. We're either ascending or descending. And if you stop learning, if you stop seeking to stay fresh, to stay at the forefront of the curve, the bleeding edge of technology, you'll get lost. You get left behind. Look at the boomers. No shade, for real. But things are always advancing. That is what it is. That lead a life worth following in solitude or not. And I touched on that with having your purpose. I touched on whether or not anybody sees it. Whether or not anybody's here on this live. We are live at 5 every week. That's why I'm reminding you in the replay, drop the questions, because I'm gonna be coming right back. I got them answers. But leading a life that's worth it, a quality of life that demonstrates a lead. Oh, he does these type of things. He has these type of resources. He's about this education. This brother has got his stuff together. He is leading, and it's demonstrated by himself. Masculine doesn't need anybody. You got to be, and when I say that, solitude, right? You got to get complete with your conversations that you're lonely. Just because you are alone in life, in any step of life, whether you've had family, built something before, had a community and all of it, just because you are in a season of being alone does not mean you need to be lonely. Come to enjoy your own company. Come to enjoy your character, your humor, your interests. Speaking of which, have some interests. Have some hobbies, have some things you can share and teach and expose and introduce, the things that you practice, just because it's called a full, rich life. She can't be the only one tapped into the feminine that knows how to turn a house into a home, turn a life into a legacy by being up to some shit yourself. Do you feel me? Stop sabotaging. How do you do that? Inward. You're going to have to develop the emotional intelligence. This is probably the biggest and baddest thing that you can do to make yourself MGM standard, mature, grounded, masculine man. Heal and clean up your energy, your communication, your limiting beliefs. Clean up all that shit. I don't care who you are. You have childhood traumas. From the very birth, there's a great book out there, The Body Never Forgets. As you come into this life, it's a cold, hard, abrupt environment. Smack you on the ass to have you scream. Make sure you learn. It's so clinical and cold. It's nothing like nature designed it. Now, this is not a problem. This is just the status quo. You're going to have an attachment style. Your primary care providers taught you something. When they left you alone, if you cried, did you get attention? Was somebody coming? Were they reliable? Did they neglect you? Were they unpredictable? Were they in and out of your life? Did you often go without your needs being met? Because this feeds into how you feel worthy, how you interact with the world, how you seek things from partnership that you may or may not even know. Why am I in this toxic dynamic? Why am I dealing with all this dysfunction? Why am I taking this abuse? I don't deserve this. I can't stand this. And you get a fix when she comes back around. If you're not in control of yourself, if you don't have emotional intelligence, if you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. So you've got to do the work, brother. I don't care how buttoned down you are, straightforward you are, successful you are, just because you can function. Yes, sir, I'm doing fine. How are you feeling? Because the second her femininity, the feminine swirl, the infinite chaos, the entire spectrum, the laughs, the tears, the joy, the celebration, the excitement, the anxiety, all of that feminine, and your grounded masculine rock is triggered, taken out, cracks and chinks in the armor coming out. It's all going to show up. And then she knows it's not safe. Then you abuse, you neglect, you respond, you do all kinds of things that have that feminine walk right away because she knows how to protect herself. She knows how to seek alignment with her intuition. Hell, that's the thing I coach my clients on, so I hope they better know. But you've got to do the healing and clean up your shit so that you show up to the table. Have you ever heard, fellas, who hurt you? Now, I'm not talking about that sign language. I'm not talking about them making you feel insecure, name calling, have to be right, none of that stuff. We all know that MO. But truly, if you haven't moved on from this red pill rage, if you haven't come to accept female nature, you want a feminine woman. Do you really? Because there's some feminine nature. There's some manipulation at play, healthy even, that's going to be there. She's had to have her experience. Her body count is going to be whatever, unless she's a virgin, which 2025, come on, man, for real, you holding out with that? You got to get over these beliefs and ways of thinking about things because it truly is what it is. And when you understand feminine nature, it's going to be to your benefit because the feminine nature, she's just been looking to the cream at the top. Well, what did I say? When you get grounded in your MGM status, when you reach that standard of mature, grounded masculinity, black card on deck, her female nature, her hypergamy, all the other things out there, lingo and whatever you can be paying attention to in this dating game, in this modern dating game, red pill rage, it's all aimed to that cream of the crop, to the top percentage. So if you get to play there in that playground, what difference does it make? But you got to get your shit cleaned up first. And here's the secret part of the heavy lifting behind that, fellas. You heal and clean yourself up because that's where the sabotaging happens. And this straightforward is going to be the biggest nugget I can give you. You say you want a feminine woman in your life. If you are not ready for her femininity, if her talking, if her emotions, if her inconsistency, if her polar opposite polarity, attraction, if her femininity that shows up is everything you are not, and you are not mature enough, you are not emotionally intelligent enough to be with all of that, you will just as quickly use and abuse her, have her shrivel up and protect herself, and that wafting, free-flowing feminine flower and fountain pouring all the love, softness, ooey gooey, gushy that you want is not going to be there. It's going to dry up quick as night. So when I tell you, be careful what you ask for. When I tell you, are you sure that you want a feminine woman in your life? you better be ready for all that femininity shows up as. Unpredictable, unreliable, not accountable, mature. They follow your lead. We don't deal with that bullshit around here. We're not toxic and dysfunctional around here. Okay, they can grow up. They show improvement. But don't expect her to take responsibility. It's going to still be hard for her. No different than it is for you. You're a human being. Come on. To say I'm sorry. As men, we're more conditioned to, I fucked up, so I learn on the other side. I'm sorry. My bad. Show me how I can improve. Femininity doesn't have that, especially in the sexual market. They're given everything, handed everything because they're pretty, because of their youth, because of their softness. So they have a skewed sense of life that has nothing to do with us, so you can't expect that on the other side of the coin. That's the biggest tidbit I could give you. Prepare for partnership, fellas. Number 5. If you're expecting partnership in your life, it's the same thing I told the ladies on the other side. Start thinking of the future together and let go of the single life. Do you have room in your schedule? Do you have bandwidth in your communication? Is this a good time? If it just needs to be fun, yo, be straightforward and honest. Feminine is still going to love you. Feminine is still going to give you access. Feminine is still going to open up, because the smart feminine woman knows that for the right masculine lead, if she can follow your campaign, if she can be down, if she can just orbit and stick around when you are ready, they have a line of them ready to go. That's an abundance of feminine, because they want that chance and opportunity. They will compete for you, fam. However, if you're not straightforward, if you lie about it, if you're the type of brother who has not grown past, let me say, love, because that opens up some cheeks, you're doing it wrong. Be honest. They're grown women. They're feminine women. They love the polarity. You can be honest with them, straightforward. Just, hey, I'm finna knock that thing down. I'm just looking to have some fun. I'm tied up right now. I ain't got the time, but I'm very interested in you. Cool, bet. Grown ass woman. I mean, you can let them know that it's not a big deal. They've had some experience, had a couple of laps. What's your body count? Like, straightforward conversation. But if there's shame, if there's guilt, and no, I'm not talking about their sign language. I'm talking about ours, that red pill rage. If you're going to make everything so wrong about how they played the feminine game, and here you are on your masculine side as a man, adolescent young boy, knowing nothing about it, but you got judgment. Ooh, shriveled up, dried up, no access. Do not pass go. It is what it is. Don't kill the messenger, fellas. Space, right? Sharing your time, sharing your energy, sharing everything that you want to give to your feminine partner, that you're going to need to give, that you're going to need to lead with consideration. Just because you make the decisions does not make you a dictator. But when you take in consideration, let them know that they're seen, heard, and understood, and then from there are coming with choices and decisions that take it off of their plate, that you're willing to be responsible. But if you're pointing the finger, if you can't be held accountable, if everything's her fault just as much, it's not a lead. It's not masculine. She's going to pick up on that. She's going to feel that. Good luck. This is the last thing that you need to do, and it's honestly going to be the easiest. Take the lead. Bro, you got to shoot the shot. If the invitation's there, if that eye contact is right, especially in these modern days, bro, come on now. I'm not too bad on the eyes, they be looking. If you're out there in this day and age, and chin up, no time of day for you, when you catch them eyes, those are indicators of interest. When she's letting it linger, she knows exactly what she's doing. And if there's any femininity to it, that is the open invitation. Shoot the shot. Get the reps in. Move things forward. Demonstrate masculine to feminine dynamics. Don't be coming around under a guise trying to play friends. No man has ever been put in the friend zone. He walks his happy self in there like it's a touchdown. But in the meantime, when you take the lead, when you demonstrate, what did I tell you? Let her feel that masculine. Girl, I will do something strange to you tonight. When she feels that presence, that energy, and it's unapologetic. Yes, and I'm a man. I want you. I'm attracted to you. I don't need you. There's more around the corner. There's more of y'all than it is of me. You can demonstrate and let them feel that in unattached, direct, masculine to feminine. They feel it. They need it. They feed off of it. It'll make a difference. So take the lead, step up, show you understand and appreciate femininity. I gave you a lot of game tonight, fellas. I gave you insights to understanding female nature, femininity, what it's like on the other side of the fence, the other side of the coin of our beautiful feminine counterpart. So when you let them know with maturity, that's why I said the body count conversation doesn't have to be a big deal unless you make it, unless there's judgment. Anything and everything. Here's access, fella. This is a top secret. This is my own MO. This is how I play the game. I want to know you. I hold no judgments. I am unbiased. Why? Because she don't need to see that. Relationship I'm in right now, I give no indicators of judgment. I want to see your raw, authentic self. Raunchy, dirty, queenly, uptight, prude, whatever. Because I'm doing the judging over here. I'm qualifying over here. Where do I categorize you? Where do I invest my time, resources, energy, efforts? What is she qualified for in my life? It at all. Like I said, them walking around with the attitude, chin in the air, can't see nobody, not even making eye contact to how you doing, a nod to acknowledge another human being. Oh, great. You're out here strong, independent, on your own with that masculine energy. Go on about your way. But that soft flowing sundress, smiling perfume I can smell, eye contact and a glance. Oh, but how you doing, sir? Yeah. Yes. It's obvious. It's a dance, fellas. You got to shoot that shot. You got to take that lead. You got to be willing to do that and show them that you understand. When you show them that you know how hard it is out here for a woman, when you show them that you recognize not every male walking up and down the street is a man. This is an MGM standard, mature, grounded, masculine men. Yes, I'm looking. Where's the honor? Where's the integrity? Where are the other brothers at? Oh, they right here in this channel, live at 5. They know what's up. Salute to you. When you hold yourself like that, when you operate like that, when you can give feminine that access to understanding, that's a golden nugget I just gave you. Don't judge your woman. Seek to know her, because she has a whole spectrum that you need to learn. That's why her past is important. That's why her background is important, because for your future, for your legacy, you need to know if there's some Benjamin Franklin on this boat, there's some hypocrisy, if there's somebody who's going to tank the whole thing. My God, take responsibility for everything. Now, I told you that earlier, the ownership is the responsibility I'm talking about. Owning the space. Wisdom I got first time I got married, uncle told me, said, if something goes down and it's your fault, you fucked up. If something goes down and it's her fault, you fucked up. Take responsibility for everything. I talk to guys all the time. They come to me, I got a problem. This is going on with my girl, this, that, and the other. Guys are complaining. They're unhappy. They're stressed and all this, that, and the other. Brother, you got to suck it up and take responsibility that this is your relationship. That whether or not you did it or not, you led it. You led your life to this point. You let her get y'all to this point, and you let it get to this point. And on your behalf, because I can only help you fix you and your situation. If everything's about her, well, then she's the lead. Complaints do not go down, they go up. So if you're complaining about your woman, she won't let me lead. She's causing all these problems. She's so emotional, all this, that, and the other. Be responsible. How have you led her? How have you trained her to communicate with you, respect you? How do you live by your values such that she sees it demonstrated and knows what to emulate? Monkey see, monkey do. Do you feel me? If you take that level of responsibility for everything, just the willingness, because again, they're not responsible. That's kryptonite. Someone who can't admit they're sorry or they're wrong has someone who shows up and takes responsibility. I didn't communicate to you that this is how we're going to do things. I can see where there was a breakdown in communication. I can see where I could have changed direction here and set us up properly for this. I can see going forward, this needs to happen. I can be responsible to what I brought to that miscommunication. Now, nowhere in there did you say you're sorry, because you don't need to be, but you're responsible. See, that's leadership. When femininity gets that anxiety and doesn't know how to make a decision, doesn't want to disappoint, cut off, decide, decision, cut off, can't do it. FOMO. Do I make the wrong choice? That's where that anxiety comes up. And a leader shows up, I'm willing to. Because we know as leaders, as grounded, mature, masculine, not worried about the emotion, I may fuck it up. I don't know all the answers. I can't predict the fucking future any different than you. But I'm willing to be responsible because I am that bigger, badder, stronger energy. And when that shows up, he's got it. When he's around, it is so safe. She gets wet just thinking about it. And this is truth. You go test it. Go ask women out there in your life how they feel when this type of MGM standard, mature, grounded, masculine shows up. It's a wrap. You're taking your lead, taking responsibility. Never falter on your willingness to walk. Now, that's not just saying cutting them loose immediately, zero tolerance. No. What I mean is that you have to be able to demonstrate that you will not sway. You can be influenced by the proper alignment with your beliefs and values, but don't falter on your square. You got to stand 10 toes down for what your values are, for what's important to you, for what you want to direct, what you want to lead, the legacy you're out to live, what you value. And what that looks like is do whatever you need, brother. I give you permission right now. Do whatever it is that you need to take the lead. Put your oxygen mask on first. If you got needs that need to be met for you to contain, because here's the thing. This is why it's not about same, because we're not the same. It is equal, because I equally respect your considerations. I equally respect your opinion. I equally respect that you are involved in this partnership, and I'll hold it down for you. And I'm the one willing to lead it. I'm the one willing to step up and take ownership, responsibility, to be accountable, to guide us, to make mistakes and make up the difference, to contain all those emotions that I don't understand, I don't give a fuck about, I don't feel. And it's all just messing up because in my logical, pragmatic brain, yo, you good, I'm good, we good together. Let's go for it, do this for life, and we'll bang out the problems as we go. Feminine, no, these microtransgression, can't take it, don't know what to do with it, and I'm going to contain all that. Baby, come sit down. Come on, let's talk. It's okay. We're still on the same team. It's all right. There's some miscommunication here. I can break it apart and see. And you see that calm, cool, soothing, because it's so much better than all the anxiety, the unrest, the upset, all the things that she can't help but be in. And this is the last secret when I say about that appreciation. Because of your masculinity, she can yoke off of that and go further into her femininity. Be softer, be more nurturing, be more intimate, be more caring, give you the things that she needs as you shine your sunlight of love on her, constant, no matter what. You're always there, always constant, always reliable. As you shine that love on her, she's gonna pour it back into you because feminine multiplies. So when she can relax, feel safe, and flow in her femininity because of your masculinity, now you get to yoke in your masculine. You don't have to worry about the feminine because you got that feminine counterpart complimenting and whispering in your ear. Not just compliments of like, you the shit. I mean compliments like she compliments in the flow, in the dance of yin and yang, and you better each other. That's that yoking. She gets to then yoke over into her feminine. You get to yoke into your masculine. You get to show up and lead. You get to show up and be powerful and be strong because you don't have to compensate for your feminine. You can yoke it off of her feminine, and in partnership. So many other benefits about bringing that energy together, just the divine energies, the masterminding that comes together inside of it. But it's such a powerful thing. But you've got to do whatever you need, you brother, whatever you need to do to lead. And when she sees that you are not shooketh, that you will 10 toes down, stand on your square. Oh, he's a real motherfucker. So she knows it's safe to cast her vote because you don't crumble under the pressure of her. There's abundance. You can find more than her. You're willing to walk. It's all demonstrated, and it's all so subtle in just these little things.